Okay, we're back. It's Talking in the Library. And Issy today is going to be talking about something that we don't normally talk about at all. And it's the first time on the blog. Issy, you're interested in anthrax. Can you tell us about it then, please?
Well, anthrax is a disease, but it's caused by a bacteria. And there are spores in the ground, which are very dangerous. They are ingested by animals and then make it into their bloodstream. It then kills the animals, and when the animals die, it releases spores into the air, which means that we then inhale either the bacteria, or if we have cuts, we can get cutaneous anthrax, and it gets into our bloodstream that way.
So is there more than one type of anthrax then?
Yes, there are 4 different types. So cutaneous anthrax, which is if you have a cut, it will get into your bloodstream. Inhalation anthrax, which is when you inhale it, which is actually the most dangerous and requires extremely aggressive treatment. So even with treatment, it's a 50% chance of survival.
What kind of treatments would you have to have?
Well, I think it's antibiotics you can take, but I think even so, it's very unlikely that you'd be able to recover from it. There is also injection anthrax, which is quite rare, but it has been cases in America, which is where when you're injecting drugs, so such as heroin, there have been cases where anthrax has got into the bloodstream that way.
Oh gosh. So what kind of prompted this interest in anthrax? It's quite an unpleasant thing to be interested in, isn't it?
I was reading a book which was not really related to anthrax at all, but it was about these spies, and one of them was believed to have got anthrax, and I didn't really know much about it, so I thought that might be something interesting to do a blog about.
Yeah. So, what are the big potential dangers of anthrax then in terms of affecting populations?
Well, in 2001 there was a case where it was shortly after the 9/11 attack actually. There was envelopes of this powder which were sent to media agencies and like Senate's offices, and they didn't know what it was, but they opened these and it got into the air systems, and then I think it was about 2 weeks-ish later they started having symptoms, and it spread across like all the different places where the air was coming into contact. And they said about 100,000 people could have been subjected to the anthrax. So I'm surprised really that there hasn't been a more serious bioterrorist attack using anthrax, but I think that could definitely be something in the future that's more prevalent.
That's really quite terrifying, isn't it, really? Yeah. If that were to happen, do you think the government has a kind of plan to deal with it if we had a major attack?
There are agencies set up specifically for anthrax, which were set up after that attack, and I think the difficulty with bioterrorism is it's much more difficult to prevent it and to help people. So vaccines obviously can help, but you have to have extremely specific ones, and there are vaccines for anthrax not available to the public, but if you're working in a high risk job, so like in lab or certain medical professions, then you can get the vaccine. So I think that could definitely be something that the government start doing.
Okay, that's very interesting. So looking forward, what other things are you interested in terms of this kind of, I guess, bio diseases and organisms?
Well, I want to go to medical school and become a surgeon, so that's why I found this particularly interesting. But I think there are so many different ones. I mean, COVID's an example of like contagious diseases that can just go to all populations.
Spiral
really.
out of control. Yeah. I mean, that's a respiratory kind of illness, isn't it? And I'm not sure if you know the answer to this, but it's COVID-19. Presumably there have been 18 different variations of this before.
Yes, I think there have been, yeah.
So, there we go. So, that's really interesting. Thanks for talking us through your excellent blog, which is available on the school blog. And for people who've read that, I think this vlog that you've done kind of really clarifies what you were talking about. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And hope to see you back with us very soon.